I have been lugging a lot of camera equipment around for years. Which start off as a small shoulder type sling bag, or the little camera bags that Kodak used to give you when you bought a camera, or even like Canon gives you. Now when you buy a kit camera, they all come with these nice little bags, which are shoulder style bags, which are great. As you grow into this profession or this hobby, you tend to acquire more stuff. And as you acquire more stuff, you need a bigger place to put your stuff so you can have all your stuff with you to take a picture of the stuff you're trying to take a picture of. It's a thing. For the past 20 years, maybe more, I have been a dyed-in-the-wool, hardcore backpack guy. I just have been. And every camera bag that I've owned of any kind of substance has been a backpack style bag. Now, I'm a big sinner when it comes to backpack bags because I don't use them properly. I'm a slinger, which means I put the backpack on one shoulder only, so it's sort of kind of hang off me a little bit. Nothing on my left shoulder, so I'm walking around with my thumb tucked under like this, doing my happy little walk through the airport or, across a field or something. After decades of that and the increase of weight on the camera bags, because the equipment I'm carrying has gotten heavier and heavier, it has become more and more of a tax on my body. Now in my mid-50s, I'm finding that if I go to one or two events on a weekend, like I'm shooting high school football or a band marching performance or something, coming off of these things, I'm just dying because my back is just killing me. And I'm doing it to myself. I reached out to the good folks at Think Tank. Links will be below, of course. I reached out to them on Instagram saying, hey, I have been a backpack guy for years. It's taking its toll. I'm very sore. I'm in pain. What bag would you recommend for somebody who does this type of work and has this type of equipment? And I kind of gave a little bit of a list of what I carry, kind of on a daily basis whenever I am out and about shooting. And they came back and said, well, you're probably a pretty good candidate for these one or two different bags because I am also in normal years a traveler and I wanted something I can take with me but doesn't scream camera bag, but protects my equipment and its carry-on size, because I am not a big fan of trying to check any of this type of equipment because again, it's very, very expensive. Through a couple conversations, ended up talking with somebody at Think Tank who said, hey, why don't we send you a bag that will fit your needs? I will make a note though that this video is not being sponsored by Think Tank. I am not being incentivized or otherwise compensated for giving a positive review or any kind of, they gave me no coaching on what to say or not to say or whatnot. They just let me they just send me the bag and said review it, which I will happily do. This is going to be part one of a 3-part series of this bag. But video one is going to be just the unbagging of the bag, some general thoughts and opinions, just a very brief overview of the bag, and that'll be kind of it for this first video. My second video, which I'm probably a week or two out on, will be a more in-depth review. Once I get into it, load my equipment into it, pull it around for a little while, work with it, see how I like it. That'll be another review coming up then. Again, maybe a week or two. And then a third will be my wrap-up 2020 video of what's in my bag. I did one earlier this year. I'll link it wherever the linky card is, of my what's in my bag 2020 version 1. V2 will show a little bit of a growth of my business and the growth of my equipment over this calendar year. Without any further ado, let's open this bag. Again, huge thanks to the great folks at Think Tank for sending this out to me and letting me review this piece of equipment. This is it. It is beautiful. It does come wrapped in a bag. Just again, sacrificial, just great for shipping and such. Let me go ahead and untie the bottom. I rip open Christmas presents, I do unwrap camera equipment. It's a thing. Okay. Obviously, the bag isn't black, which I love. First impression is this thing is tight. I mean, super tight. Just kind of a quick tour on the bag. On the back of the bag, you have the kind of like the skid plate right here, which is great for going up and down stairs, up and down curbs, other places where the bag can receive some impact. If you're dragging it through the rain or snow, this will help kind of provide some weatherization, if you will, to this area and keep it from getting too terribly wet or gunged up. The wheel well plates here for the same serve the same purpose. These are what I would call fairly proud, which means they're above the level of the bag. So they are kind of an exoskeletal protective layer, keeping the bag safe while these become sacrificial. And I'll talk about that in just a second. Much taller than ones I've seen in the past. Again, great for going up and down stairs, over up and down curbs. If you're in a loading dock area and want to push up on a loading dock, we run into all kind of weird spaces. The wheels are very highly revealed as being the best in the market. These are kind of like rollerblade type wheels. They're sealed bearing wheels that are really built to last. You have to go out of your way to destroy these things. I've had bags, a few bags I've had that have been made of injected plastic that are hollow, that have quite literally shred on me, which is, in all intents and purposes, that makes for a bad day. Up on top up here, there is a plate that's hard mounted to the bag that does have a serial number that you can register the bag with Think Tank in the event it's lost, and someone is good enough to make the phone call to Think Tank and say, hey, I found bag serial number blah blah blah, whatever. Then they'll have, when you register the bag, they'll have my contact information to help me locate the bag and get it back. Super cool. What I love about the handle is in line with the top of the bag. It's not proud here. It's not going to be a snag hazard or a place for something to get hung up on, which I love. This isn't a fully extendable, and these are fairly, what I've seen and heard, these are very rigid and very well constructed to give the strength that you need to hold all of your precious equipment. The handle on top is very well attached to the bag. The attachment point to the bag is close to probably double the width of the handle itself, which gives you a nice base from which to lift the bag. Looks like it's not going to create any undue stress in a small subsection of the bag. It's going to widen that load out, so when you do lift it by the handle, it will give you a nice lift to it, and again, not put too much stress or pressure on the bag itself. Also on the top right here is a little window. Little window right there where you can place your business card or some type of information if you want to put it there for identification. So if you're at a location or a venue and there's 6 other bags like this, you can quickly identify your bag just from looking at the top and make sure you grab your own bag. Little tag here that says it does fit a 17-inch laptop. I've got a 16-inch, so I should be fine. Inside this top zipper, there is the security cable, which I've heard a lot about, where you can take this and tie it around a table or some other, like a pole at a venue, again, to kind of give yourself another layer of security for locking your bag. On the side of the bag, you have a tripod holding area right here. The feet of the tripod can fit in here. I believe in the bag there's a little kit for hanging the tripod off this side. Again, this has got a really nice molded plastic wheel well here, again, proud, above the level of the bag, again, to provide some extra bump protection. On the bottom of the bag, we also have these nubs here, which allow the bag to sit upright. This is not a spinner, it's a pull behind bag. Probably for structural reasons, keeping that center of gravity on the bag a little bit lower. Spinner bags typically are a bit higher center of gravity, which can cause tipping. But this has the same style of hard plastic tabs or pads as the back of the wheel well. Now, one interesting thing to note is each one of these has an Allen key screw in them. At a later date, let's say you're a couple of years, 3 years into ownership of this wonderful bag, and you've just beaten it to heck. You can go to the fine folks at Think Tank and say, I need to order a couple of bumpers or a bumper kit, or maybe a bumper and wheel kit for your bag. These two, and this back plate here are all user serviceable and user changeable, which just extends the life of this bag. Again, ordinarily these are riveted into place and you're sort of kind of out of luck. This becomes your fuse on how long this bag will last. But because these are replaceable, that does give this a very significant extension of life. On the other side of the bag, we have the Tsa Style 2, I believe. Tsa Style 7 lock here, which simply means that TSA can, should they want to inspect your bag, if you have to end up checking it, they can access your bag without having to know your combination. But again, this is just a very common type of lock that you see in a lot of type of bags. And again, the YKK zippers do click into the lock to securely lock them. And this is actually, this seems to be a very quality piece. I have seen some that are very, very, very cheap. Again, on this side, you have a similar handle as you do on the top of the bag. Again, very well mounted to the side of the bag. The footprint, again, is about double the width of the handle, which gives me a lot of confidence that this will last an awful long time. Front of the bag, there is a slippy compartment here, which you can put, if you're hopping onto the plane, you can throw in here your maybe a headphone case or an iPad. Like I have my iPad here. If you're hopping on the plane, you can just slide it into there and walk on the plane. A couple magazines, chewing gum, whatever you might need for the plane, you can probably slip in there pretty easily. I'm going to go ahead and remove this laptop notification. And my laptop's actually downstairs uploading videos right now, as it were. This will unzip. Looks like it unzips just to the level of this outer sleeve. It is not a full unzip. Probably better if you can see this. Inside of here, you have some of the kind of the opaque, low opaque plastic here, where you can see the contents of this little container. Again, a great place to put car keys, gum, AirPods, little small items up in here. There is a mid Velcro area here, which looks like this is a sleeve area, which very well could fit this is an iPad Pro, the Big Daddy one, this in a case, and that does fit. How about that? Mine doesn't quite latch, but I've also got the larger iPad Pro with a case, which adds a little bit of girth and bulk to it. But hey, this is great, and that's in the iPad sleeve. Then there's a compartment ahead of that, which is a fairly open. It's a very deep compartment that goes down to the bottom of the bag. That would be great for larger items, files, maybe a jacket or pullover or sweater you can dump in there for on the plane or something like that. And then back behind here, there is an accordion style construction here, which does allow this laptop area to expand outward to accommodate your laptop. And again, this is very full, and I have no reason to doubt that this wouldn't fit my 16-inch or 15-inch, my 15-inch MacBook Pro, or any computer of that size and caliber. So this is really nice size feature. This little zipper compartment, yeah, it's probably about 3 inches-ish deep, about that deep. And it is that kind of a clear plastic, which I love. It does look reinforced, so it's not going to poke through. So if you do put keys or something else, keys in there, it may just do great. I don't know, we'll find out. And that's the exterior of the bag, I believe. Yeah, these are the attachment points for the tripod. With any luck, this will open right up. Woo! Okay, sorry, I blew it for you there, but on the Tsa Lock, there's a left and a right zipper release. Pop both, boom, they pop right out. The code is set to 000, pretty fancy. I'll change it, so don't get in my bag. And let's take this thing for a first unzip, shall we? Oh, okay. This is a, all right. This is a 3/4 zip. The bottom does not unzip. It's not a clamshell. It's a full open bag, and you will get the first look. I'm not even going to see this thing yet, okay? You get to see it first, okay? Ooh, swanky. Look at there. This looks like it's a kind of a cool diagram. That's a nice piece of marketing to give an example of how the bag can be loaded, I suppose. Super helpful there. On the lid of the bag, you have 3 of those. Actually, you have 4 of these compartments that are, again, that same kind of see-through plastic that look like they're reinforced. A larger one down here. These actually look to be about the same size. And then this is actually 2 compartments here for SD cards or coins, or if you have like a little Allen key or something like that, you put that up in here. And then there looks, yeah, okay, there we go. So 2 up there, 1 here, and 1 there. Whoa, what's all this? Okay, this is an insert. This kind of gives some instructions on what the bag is and how to work everything. And then in the back, on the back, well, here's some information on how to do the tripod attachment. It kind of goes into that here as well. It goes into the Tsa Lock and how to set your own combination. And it goes into the safety lock, or the security lock, is to how to handle that. And on the back, it shows a couple of different configurations of how you can do the bag. And then what is this guy? This is not the lock itself. Okay, good on that. Pretty nifty think tank photo brochure here with their product line. Has their think tank and their mind shift gear catalog in here, which is super cool. This is just going to be removed. Again, it just kind of talks about the specifications, top features, that kind of good stuff. All right. Woo. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. Here is the interior of the bag. Has been kind of a layout, kind of, I guess we'd call it as a standard layout of how it might be arranged. Room up here for 2 bodies. I don't know if mine will. We'll see. We'll see. This has got like a little dam here where you can pop this guy out, remove this, and put this in with like a 7200 lens or something like that attached to that. So if you do travel with your lenses attached, I don't, but just running around town, I do. You could do that there. Otherwise, you would close that little dam body, and then lens could go there, for example. This is the tripod sheath that goes on the outside of the bag. Rain cover, which on a day like today might be advisable. I've only had to use a rain cover, I think, twice for bags ever, and that was on a particularly wet, rainy shoot. Duh. And then a whole mess of extra dividers allowing you to truly customize the interior of the bag. One thing to note on the depth, there is in this top part of this compartment right about here, about the area of my hand, a little bit square, that's the well where the handle, the extension handle is on the outside of the bag. It kind of comes into the bag to keep the back flat. You do lose about 1 inch in this top area, but for a camera body, like my 1DX is 6.5, I think 6 or 6.5 inches tall. This interior depth right here is 7 inches, which means I have a little bit of headroom to work with should I need to put my body in here. That should fit just fine. Then the rest of the bag down here, which will get that extra inch from the handle well. That is a unbagging, and kind of a first glimpse at the Think Tank bag. Again, this one's called the Airport Security version 3 from Think Tank. I am extremely excited to load this thing up and let my back rest for a bit. I will include links below to this bag as well as the Think Tank website. Also, if you happen to click on the link down below, it will take you to their website, and I believe that you get a free shipping offer from them if you use my link. It is an affiliate link. If you do happen to buy something, which I certainly appreciate, I do get a small commission on it, but it doesn't affect your pricing. Your pricing is the exact same if you did or didn't use the link. That part doesn't really matter, but I would love it if you did, but if not, just go buy a bag. They're super helpful people. Very, very happy to be working with them and doing a review on this magnificent bag. As always, thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Have any questions or comments for me, leave them down below, and I will see you at the next one. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.